Hello and welcome to Late to the Party, the Afters, a bonus episode where me and today my very special guests are going to answer your dilemmas. Thank you so much, first of all, for emailing in your dilemmas. We're so grateful to people for sharing situations that are going on in your lives. And just a reminder, if you are listening to this and you get inspired to send us an email, please send it to Emily@latetothepartyyy with 3ys.com, latetothepartyyy.com. Daniel Wye,
Yeah.
are you here?
I was invited.
I'm joined by Dan Wye, who has been on the podcast earlier this week, and an honour, a privilege to have you here. Huge fan of your work. Thank you so much.
You know my work.
I know your work. Yeah. Do I know
Do you
your
know my
work?
work?
I've seen your piss all over fucking central London, Dan. I can smell it when I walk through Soho Square.
So?
Like, Dan Wye is just around the corner.
Yeah, that's what dogs do. I'm marking my territory.
Do you think you're good at giving advice?
Honestly, yeah. Like, I think...
Said with such, like, amazing confidence.
I think I am that friend that, like, if you've got a dilemma, like, people do come to me. I think it's because I was, like, the funny gay guy with the popular girls at school, which meant that, like, my intelligence is more, like, socially. So, like, I'm a good at, like, listening and understanding situations. Sometimes I do make it that thing where I go, yeah, I can relate, and then tell a story of myself. But I'm doing that in a way of, like, no, I know what you mean.
Yes.
But often people, the amount of times I'm at a party and someone goes, I've never told anyone this. And some people you absolutely know, and then tells me the most, like, diabolical dark secret. And you're like, cool, I just wanted a little...
No, honestly, same. I think we both have that weird, it must be something about our hair.
It's open faces, I think.
We're both deep empaths.
Yeah.
I think you are very good at advice, by the way.
Thank you. I think you're good at advice as well.
Okay, I don't actually recall ever giving you advice, but...
Well, I've never needed it from you, but I'm just, as an empath, I can tell that you'd be great at it.
Right, I'm going to read our first dilemma.
Okay.
My boyfriend thinks I fancy his dad, and I don't know how to persuade him I don't, full stop. Okay. I have been with my boyfriend for 2 years, and everything's great, except he's recently started joking that I fancy his dad. Brackets, he is 55, happily married, and just kind of like a normal dad, ? I think it started when I made an offhand comment that his dad dresses well for his age. But now my boyfriend keeps bringing it up in front of people, like at the pub, and I feel like it's becoming a bit of a thing. I now feel really self-conscious whenever I'm around his dad, but I don't want to stop going to family events. How do I shut this down without making it even weirder to my boyfriend?
Wow.
Well, I think it sounds like you fancy his dad.
Yeah. If you incest.
That is what I'm taking from this, is that the lady doth protest too much.
Yeah, just fuck his dad. Like, honestly, just get it out of the way. Fuck his dad.
See what it's saying.
I mean, it is a real thing because everyone's seen porn. It happens all the time in porn. And art imitates life, vice versa.
But this girl doesn't strike me as someone who watches like that kind of porn. I'm not going to lie. If she can't take a joke about fancying someone's dad, like, no offense to her.
But then why is the boyfriend bringing it up so much? Do you think he feels insecure?
Can I say that might just be like he's not that funny? So like, do you know those like people who like don't have a really good sense of humor, so they just keep repeating like the same one joke over and over again because they think it's like what they have to offer?
Yeah.
So it's the kind of thing of like, oh yeah, Sarah fancies my dad, like at the pub trying to like make other people laugh. But it's like, come up with some new material, why don't you?
Yeah, I absolutely don't know those people.
No,
I would never be seen dead with them. Yeah, I mean, it's like a weird thing, like Oedipus, right? Is it Oedipus? Eat the pus? Eat this pus?
Eat this pus.
Eat a pussy.
Well, I wish you would.
I'm not... Stop bringing me on to things that you do to ask me to eat you out. Okay? It's not the first project, and I'm sure it's not the last. You just literally invite me here so that you can, come on to me.
I want to come on you. No, but like the Oedipus thing, totally. But that's, I think, a bit different because the Oedipus complex is about like people wanting to get with their, like girls wanting to get with their dads.
What's the other one?
Boys wanting to get with their mums.
Isn't there another one? Is Oedipus and something else, right?
Yeah, but they're about getting with your actual parents, not like your partner's parents.
But maybe the boy wants to
get with his dad.
Yeah. Maybe you should be like, hey, listen, do you want me to fuck your dad and tell you what it was like?
Yeah, so that you don't have to.
So that you don't have to.
That sounds like a good solution.
I think, listen, when I said I was going to give an advice, this is what I meant.
But my serious advice, if this girl was like, you know, not understanding our intellect, my serious advice would be tell him that he is not as like this is not a funny bit and he needs to come up with other bits. I don't fancy your dad, and if you carry on this terrible joke soon, I'm not gonna fancy you.
Yeah, if you're not in a position that you can sit down with your boyfriend and say, hey, I'm not gonna suck your dad off, what kind of relationship is that?
100%.
And if the boy wants to sleep with his dad, go for it. The world's ending. Inbred. I can't believe I'm not butter. No, but obviously, like, talk to your boyfriend and be like, hey, when you explicitly talk about your dad taking me up the arse, I don't find that funny. Can you stop?
Yeah.
And if the dad is fit, because sometimes dads are fit. Have you ever been in a situation where you've wanted to or had the opportunity to maybe sleep with a friend's father or like had a relationship with that? Like,
I've been in situations where I've wanted to sleep with like a much older man, but no, like none of my actual friends' dads. But like I've been in situations where I've been like around like a man who is the same age as like me and my friends' dads, and I've been like so attracted to them, but not gotten with them.
For me, it's more moms. Moms come on to me more, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not really much I can do with that.
My mum is in love with you.
Your mum is in love with me.
She is in love with
and
you.
mum in love with your mum as well. I would eat your mum out.
Whoa. What the fuck?
That's a callback to what we were just talking about.
I know, but I'm saying,
I'm
how
also
dare
bringing the
you
dilemma into
say you would
this.
eat my mum out and not me? That is the ultimate neg.
I'm gonna send in a dilemma being there like, hi, I really want to eat my mate's mom's friend out. Wait, I'm having a stroke. I really want to eat my mate's mom out, but my mate wants me to eat her out. What do I do?
And it's that eat out to help out. Do them both. As Rishi Sunak once said.
No, but obviously have a relationship with your boyfriend that's good enough that you can talk about anything. That's the whole point, girl.
Have a relationship with your boyfriend where he can take a fucking joke. No, sorry, where he can
know that he's
not funny, and you can also take a joke.
Yeah, legit. And also just maybe fuck his dad.
Well, that is not terrible advice.
I think if your life can be as close to Hollyoaks Omnibus as possible, then you're doing a good thing.
Right, you read the next one.
Okay. This is going to be a show reel this is going to be a voice reel so I can get some voice work.
Okay.
My best mate is engaged to a guy she met Damn it. Are we still rolling? Steven Spielberg. My best mate is engaged to a guy she met 6 weeks ago. My best friend, who's 31 years old, just got engaged to a guy who's 35. They met on holiday backpacking in Thailand 6 weeks ago. They're now planning a wedding abroad. She's talking about quitting her great job in London to move to where he lives in a small town in God knows where. Probably to become a trad wife. And I just don't know how to react. I want to be supportive, but I also don't want to lie and say I think it's a great idea. How do I tell her I'm worried without becoming, how do I tell her I'm worried without coming across like a bitter, unsupportive cow? Okay, so basically, if you were too distracted by my absolute sultry erotic tones.
This girl is freaking out because her best friend's gotten engaged to a guy. But the thing is, this girl's not giving me is, why does she not like the man? It's like, I'm of the opinion that like you should be allowed to get, like, if you want to get engaged really quickly, you should be allowed to do that, because I think that's, if anything, if I ever got married, it would be like, I'll meet someone and within a month we're married.
I want the glamour of being like divorced 4 times. How glamorous is that? Of course I want that. I don't want to remember my ex's and my ex-husband's names.
No, well, I just want to be able to say, I want to be at a party and I want to be with like a woman that I've met recently, like a new friend who's like bedazzled by me. And then we bump into this man and she says, how do you two know each other? And I say, oh, he was my second husband.
Oh, girl. That's power. That's like stepmom in porn power.
Yeah. I'm horny.
Love that.
I'm really horny.
I am... No, I think allow it, girl. Like, people are allowed to like fall in love. yeah, the details about the guy are important. Like, is this some contact improv fucking Bali?
Yes,
Like,
exactly. Contact
musty,
improv.
like,
Does he smell?
yeah.
Has he got strange views about
Yeah.
Paul McCartney and the
Yeah,
earth being flat? And
Yeah. Does he wash his genitals?
Does he wash
Has
genitals?
he ever
Very
heard
important.
of Mitchum's deodorant? For me, it's mainly the must factor.
But also, like, is that if you're concerned about that, the thing is, in life, you can't control who your friends are going to be with. All you can do is be there while they get with them. And if it falls apart, you just stay there for them and don't judge them.
Legit.
Because you don't know what it's, that could happen to you at any point. You could fall in love with some major fucking loser. And then you would hope that your friends would still be there.
Is that a curse?
Huh?
Are you cursing me?
No. I'm
You
talking
just
to
did a
this
weird
girl.
thing with your fingers
I'm
just
talking
then
to
when you
this
said that. And you will find some fucking loser. Some more voice acting for anyone interested. Just surely you should trust your friend enough to make decisions. Unless you think they're making a decision from a bad place, then maybe you can question like the speed, maybe, and be like, hey, if I had just met someone in Thailand 6 weeks ago and I told you I was engaged, I would expect you to ask these questions of me. Again, you should have a good enough relationship with your friend to kind of have that communication. Is he fit? Like, is he rich?
Is he rich? Is very important.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
But I agree with that. I think, like, you can definitely say this is quite fast. Are you sure you want to rush it? Like, what about, like, in 6 months? But there's no way you can sort of, if you want to still be, like, have a good relationship with her, if she just get married to him, there's no way you can be like, don't get with him. Like, it just, unless there's something fundamentally wrong with him, it just feels a bit like it's not actually your place to say that. If you just think it's, like, being a bit rushed. And
Yeah.
listen, the thing is, if you are actually just feeling a bit like left behind, maybe that's something you need to like work through away from her. Like if you feel like this is happening really fast, and if she was like your single friend and you two were like in a union of like being
which does happen, girl.
totally, but then you need to figure that out away from her.
Yeah, and also like I think the main question you should be asking is like, is the wedding in Thailand? Are you paying for my ticket? 'Cause
Totally.
if that's the case, free holiday in Thailand.
You shouldn't have to pay for it.
Oh, if the wedding is in Thailand, mama, the budget better be spent getting me over there.
I want the White Lotus season 3.
Absolutely. I want the incest.
Yeah.
Fancying the brother.
Yeah.
But he might have some fit friends.
Exactly, but they never do.
They never do.
Your
And
friend's fiance.
there's always one gay at the
never
wedding
do.
and they're the worst gay I've ever met. There's always one gay at the wedding and it's this fucking like...
Dan Wye. It's Dan Wye. It's always, every time it's Dan Wye.
No, I was saying it's
I'm like, oh my God, he's literally here. His full-time job is the token gay at every fucking wedding in the summer.
I don't get paid for that. You know that, right? That could be my full-time job.
Yeah,
I
that
would,
would
but
be
they
it.
don't pay me to do
That's
it.
quite a good like concept for a film.
What, to be the token gay?
Like, no, like a script. Like, you know, like everyone loves like a wedding rom-com. There could be a script where like as a gay guy who's being paid to be like the token gay.
Oh my God,
at
that's so...
weddings.
Yeah, like that one...
Because like really hetero couples will be like, we need to have minorities here. Like we need, do you know what I mean? Then they have their like token gay friend.
I think you're casting the role, whatever it is.
Huh? Thank you. Well, you are. You're the gay.
You know, I
I'm
play
the
the
bride.
gay, you play the straight couple going, we need a...
Yeah. That's so me.
No, but what I mean is... There's another gay from you most often, and it's always like this manager of like Claire's Accessories who like lives in like Luton, and you're like, girl, we ain't on the same page.
Why have you sat us next to each other?
Yeah, we're not
on
even...
a table with the two of us, and it just says gay.
Mama, and they're like, so what do you think about Ricky? And I'm like, okay, well, Ricky is the most sloppy bottom that I've ever met in my entire life, and I'm absolutely okay, thanks. The wedding's gorgeous.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations by the way, but I'm not fucking Ricky.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
Yeah, good luck. Okay. How do I talk dirty to my boyfriend without sounding like Karen from HR? I've been with my boyfriend for a year and he recently told me he wishes I was more vocal in bed. He suggested trying dirty talk, which I was open to, but every time I try, I sound like I'm doing bad improv or answering a customer service call. The other night, I literally said, yeah, that's really nice. Like I was reviewing a hotel. He laughed, and now I feel too self-conscious to try it again. How do I get better at this without cringing myself and my boyfriend out? I think you should go to an improv class. Go to an improv class and start talking dirty.
Yeah, or like watch watch porn when they're like vocal, like figure out what to say. I mean, it's always something's big, something's tiny.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I think that like the scripts in porn are pretty basic. Like actually some of the porn films that I watch are a little bit more like elaborate. I think, honestly,
award-winning.
I do. I watch
arc.
sort of like indie porn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Indie in what way?
Just like everybody's paid ethically, like ethical porn.
The main guy's got a mullet. 9 inches of cock and a mullet.
And his name is Dan Wye. No, I think honestly, listen, some people aren't used to it.
Yeah, of course.
But you can just get better and better at it. It's kind of like a skill. It's also just like one of the things, because I do talk a lot, like I do talk quite a lot during sex.
Baby
but I
sex.
also laugh a lot. Like I'm making jokes, and like that's why like I like have fun when I'm having sex. Like I like to narrate it and with like a sort of, but like no, that sounds extreme. But like
one day he put his penis in my pussy.
No, but like I will say like how I'm feeling about stuff, and then I will like sort of, I don't know, I can't explain it. I wish I could send this girl like a tape of what I'm like in bed, because it's like
You've
amazing.
got one though. Just send it to her. You've got one.
Don't say that.
We made
It's a
it.
secret.
No, but also it is. I've had it before where I've been sexting with someone before we've met up, and when you're sexting, it's like all this like I'm gonna destroy your tight little. And like I remember one time, talking to this guy, and we decided to FaceTime before we'd met and like wank to each other. And like talking dirty. And then afterwards I was like, do you still want to hang out tomorrow? Just so you know, everything that we were saying doesn't have to put pressure on like how fucking like BDSM-y we are tomorrow. Like I don't have to rag you out. I know we just went into that when we were sexting and like chatting. But I also have the problem, because I am vocal, I'm just not very loud sometimes. So
you whisper.
So sometimes there's nothing more embarrassing than you saying something like dirty talk
going,
in bed.
what?
Them asking you to repeat it. So it's me being there like, yeah, stretch me out, daddy. And then him going, what? And me going, yeah, stretch me out, daddy. Girl.
Like Google Translate.
Embarrassing. And for some reason, like when I first go to, maybe it's like me feeling a bit like insecure or like feeling a bit embarrassed, but I don't say it loud enough, and I get asked to repeat myself. Take two.
That is a vibe kill.
An
like
absolute vibe kill.
Yeah.
Because no one asked me to repeat myself in
any other circumstance. Anybody
loud.
telling either of us to talk more loudly, not possible.
But I have been told to speak less as well. I remember one time fucking this guy, and I was like, is there anything in the bedroom that you'd like to be different? Because you have to have this question.
Please, can you shut up?
He was like, you just talk all the fucking time. Shut the fuck up, girl. And I'm like, if you
Dan,
don't want me to read the Bronte sisters books out loud whilst you bum me, then you could have said beforehand.
I'm telling you, we would be perfect together.
Cracking jokes.
Okay.
No, but yeah, just I think practice. And like think about what kind of thing you'd want to say. Like what in that aspect, what would turn you on?
Also, maybe in a way, like it was a bit mean for him to just like laugh. Like I think obviously maybe you should also take a joke, but like I think if that made you feel more insecure, like maybe it would be better for him to be like, that was really funny, and like it's fine for it not to be like amazing. Like don't take it too seriously is what I will say. You're not fucking like gonna get nominated for an Oscar anytime soon, so just like be fun and free and young and hot.
Ask him, talk about it, and just be like, oh, basically everyone's problems. Like in every TV show ever, if the people just spoke to the people, there wouldn't be these issues. It's secretly messaging a podcast instead of going, hey, when you laughed at me, what sort of thing would you want me to say? Like,
and that made me overthink
it
a bit, and now I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and also maybe it's just not your bag. That's also a thing about having like a partner that you're like, okay, I'm not into that, or like. But being vocal, have you ever had it when you've like really been into it, and then when you finish having sex, you think back and you're like, what the fuck was I saying? Like, what was I saying? That's
prose.
crazy.
I was literally writing prose.
Yeah. I was just spoken word about you.
So lucky that they heard me speak that way. Freestyling. Like,
afterwards, you're like, did you record that? Because honestly, what I was saying was amazing.
Like that's gonna go into something.
Yeah,
like,
Pulitzer.
Yeah.
Where's my Pulitzer?
Okay, you read out the last one.
Okay. So, I took a gummy at my boyfriend's family barbecue and ended up bonding with his nan way too much.
Are you sure it was his nan, not Dan Wye?
Are you trying to suck off his nan?
Yeah.
What is all these incestuous questions? So last night I was invited to my boyfriend's family house for the first time for a barbecue for his auntie's birthday. I was super stressed out, so I took an edible before. Crazy to take an edible before a family event. I took an edible before thinking it would just make me super chill and relaxed. Instead, it was way stronger than I expected, and I ended up having deep chats with this 82-year-old nan, talking about the meaning of life for what felt like hours. All I remember is crying and telling her I loved her. The next day, my boyfriend wanted to have a serious chat about my behaviour, because apparently the nun said I told her some dark secret. Do I tell him I took an edible and that's why I was acting so weird? Do I go to the nan directly?
The thing I don't understand, right, it's like if I had taken an edible, there's no way I could not tell everyone because, like, I would be acting so out of character. I would need people to know that's why. But it's like, did you watch that weird Lindsay Lohan film that came out at Christmas?
Wait, what happens?
She like does loads of edibles. Did you watch it? She like does accidentally has loads of edibles
in a church thing.
Yes, and then she has to go and do the reading. Yeah. And it's like, I would have to tell my boyfriend, oh, by the way, I have done an edible.
Girl,
it's quite rogue to go to a family barbecue. And not tell anyone that you're high.
You can absolutely tell I'm stoned when I'm doing like shadow puppets on your nan's face. Giggling to myself. Like, you know I'm stoned, you know? The amount of times also that like when I am stoned and I say something weird and I have to go, I'm stoned by the way. Yeah. Like a social space be like that, let that explain why I'm being so
That's what I'm saying. So I think maybe the secret was that she told the nan that she's high.
Maybe like again with every single question, be in a relationship where you can talk to your boyfriend about taking an edible. Why are you not in a relationship where you go, hey, I did an edible?
Why? Well, exactly. It's such a strange. If I was with someone and then we went somewhere and then they told me that they'd taken an edible. Actually, I used to date a guy. Do you remember the one who came up to Edinburgh?
Yeah.
And he would do that a lot, where he would say like he would be like, no, I've stopped smoking weed, and then we'd be like hanging out, we'd be somewhere, and I'd be like, you're so obviously high, and he'd be like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I've got it. And I'd be like, I can see you're high.
Sorry, that's your fourth bag of Monster Munch.
You can't open your eyes. Like, we're at the Tate and you're like that. Like, you're obviously high. And he would just like completely gaslight me that he'd stopped smoking weed. God. That's really weird. So be in a relationship where you can say you're high is good.
And also, I think that's a nice, like, isn't that not a nice thing for you to be like trauma bonding with the gram?
Yeah, I love that.
That's my perfect. That's my ideal family barbecue, is to be in the corner just cackling with your haggish gram.
Also, like, hopefully she loved you.
Of course. I also think like it depends what kind of person you are, right? Like I get fucked up, and there have been times where like it's been blackout for me, and I have to the next day when I'm feeling anxious about what could have happened. I just have to like remind myself that like I'm a nice person. So I'm never really going to say anything too horrible to someone. I'm never going to do anything that's absolutely like mad in a mean way. I may have embarrassed myself, sure, but like I'm not going to be malicious.
She tried to get with the nan.
Her dark secret.
Her dark secret is that she loves nans.
She loves licking.
She's like that sketch in Little Britain who like wants to get with the nan. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I try not to bring up Little Britain in today's society.
No, I know.
But I think just like talk to your fucking boyfriend. Also, like if you're feeling anxious, don't take a full edible. Like have maybe a little toke on the weed vape. Just like something that you can measure a little bit better. And then just be able to be like, hey, I'm feeling, or be in a relationship that if you're feeling anxious,
you can say, I'm nervous.
You go, hey, I'm feeling nervous. Do you mind supporting me in this space? So I'm not
turning to weed.
Narcotics. Girl, what happens when it's a family wedding? What, meth?
Yeah,
you're cracked out in the corner of the nan.
I'm gonna kill your nan.
The dark secret.
I'm gonna give your nan crack.
The dark secret is you're gonna kill that man. No, but for everyone, just be in any friendship, relationship, family. I look dead to camera. Be in a space that like you have your community and your council of people around you that you trust enough to be your most authentic self, because that's why we make these friends and these connections, that we can just be at peace in ourselves around these people, or else what is the point?
Amen to that, sister.
Yeah. Many men to that. Many men.
Many, many men. I want more than one man.
I want more than
I
one
want
man.
many men. Well,
and one of them might be your dad. What about it?
Yeah.
He's fit. He dresses all right for a bloke of his age. By that, he just shops at H&M.
I do get the like wanting to get with your partner's dad. Like if my boyfriend's dad was fit, I'd get it, you know?
There have been times where like I with my brother's wife, even though like I wouldn't go there, but like there's been moments where I'm like, God, imagine if I was straight and there was this spicy thing. Like that is so tantalizing.
Like Ryan Giggs and his brother. Isn't that what Ryan Giggs and his brother happened? No? Yeah, Ryan Giggs slept with his brother's wife.
Yeah, that level of... But then I've also been in a situation, because straight men absolutely love to, where like you're at a friend's wedding and like a straight guy will be hitting on you and you've met his girlfriend like an hour before, and I am just not that messy bitch who would go for that. I wish I was. But I'm always just thinking like, I just met your girlfriend and she's really nice actually. But like the idea of us secretly walking off and like doing something is fun. But I respect this girl that I just met more.
Yeah, don't do it.
You know, than me sucking your dick and you not even sucking mine.
Yeah, don't do it.
Girl, please.
Don't do it. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening. Take our advice or don't, whatever. Like, let us know how it goes.
Go out there, fuck the dads, kill the nans, and get married
crack.
in Thailand.
Yeah.
Oh, and most importantly, do crack, kids.